Hi, I'm Leigh Bardugo. I'm the author of the Grisha trilogy, Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Ruin and Rising, and I'm here at Waterstones Piccadilly to do a signing for my new book, Six of Crows. We pitched it as Ocean's 11 meets Game of Thrones, and that is apt because it's a magical heist. But the crew in Six of Crows is really nothing like the crew in Ocean's 11. Ocean's 11 is kind of a lot of really suave guys, they could take it or leave it. Kaz's crew is made up of 6 kids in pretty desperate situations who have a lot on the line. They all come from different backgrounds. The payday they'll come into if they manage to pull off this heist is really means something different to each of them. And they're all carrying around a lot of prejudices about others and ideas about themselves that they have to work through in order to pull off this heist. So I think in some ways it's a little bit heavier than Ocean's 11. I have also learned that no one under 20 seems to know what Ocean's 11 is. So we've just started being like, Guardians of the Galaxy! It's a ragtag band of misfits story, which honestly is my favorite kind of story to tell. So the more aware I've become of readers and their expectations, sort of the stronger the critical voices have gotten in my head. And I guess with Six of Crows, there was a little concern because it's so different from the Grisha trilogy, and I didn't know if the readership would come with me. But so far, it seems like they've embraced my little crew of thugs, so I'm happy about that. I've wanted to be a writer since I was a little kid, and I had this really bad habit of starting projects. I'd get, 20 pages in, 50 pages in, and then I would just stop. I would lose my momentum, or I would lose faith in what I was doing. So that was always what I wanted, but I sort of reached a point where I thought maybe that's never gonna happen. Like maybe I don't actually have a book in me. So when I got the idea for Shadow and Bone, it wasn't like, well, I got up and started writing. Like I really had to fight through some of that doubt and just commit to the fact that I was gonna write a terrible, messy first draft. But I was gonna prove to myself I could do it, and then it would be terrible, I'd set fire to it, but I would know how to write a book, and I would do it again. I try to get in my word count before I ever go on social media. It's actually something I learned from Jess Brody, who's another author. She calls it magical mornings, and it's true. I try to get at least 1,500 words in before I check my Twitter feed, before I check my email. And then hopefully I continue to work on top of that for the rest of the day, sometimes into the late night if I'm on deadline. It just depends how I'm doing. I would really love to see any of the Grisha books on television. I feel like TV is really the place for fantasy and science fiction because you have so much more room to build the world slowly and to invite people into a really big cast of characters. For people who are out there and querying who it's not happening that way for, that doesn't mean you're not talented. It doesn't mean your book isn't good. It just means the market and the moment may not be right. So you need to be, while you're querying, you need to be working on something else, and you need to try as hard as you can not to get discouraged. Think about how many people turned down Harry Potter.